We'll call the meeting to order and record the members present.
Wilson.
Here.
Kirkpatrick.
Here.
Babcock.
Here.
Reed.
Here.
Morris.
Here. Item 2 is a consent agenda. The following items of routine nature normally approved at board meetings will be approved by one vote unless any board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all of these items. Consent agenda items consist of the discussion, consideration, and approval of the following items.
Well, if nobody has any things that they want to take a look at, I'll move that we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Wilson.
Yes.
Kirkpatrick.
Yes.
Babcock.
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item number 3 is informational reports. A is the superintendent's report.
The only thing I have is the OSSBA Region 2 meeting, which will be next Thursday here at Freedom.
Will you send a text reminder, please?
Yes, I will. Everyone, all the board members are signed up to be here.
Good.
I went ahead and sent that in. It's going to be starting at 5:30. It's going to be in the cafeteria. Trauma-informed leadership from 5:30 to 6:15. And then at 6:30 is school funding and visionary leadership. So, and they will be feeding you. I don't know where the meal is coming from yet.
Yes, barbecue.
Okay. That's all I have on the superintendent's report.
We are getting real close to being finished with cross-country. We have the junior high state cross-country meet coming up on the 17th. We have one student that qualified for that, and that's Shay Wilson. So looking forward for her going down there and doing well in that. And then on the 26th, they will all be going to Northwestern's in Alba, their 5K fun run over there. So look forward to watching them do that too. It's always fun to watch them come through there and all the college kids cheering them on. So. If you can go to any of those, that'd be great. Red Ribbon Week is coming up, October 28th to November 1st. We have some things in line for that and getting ready to put out some things about drug use and bullying. They go hand in hand with each other anymore, so that'll be put out during that week. Veterans Day Assembly, we will be having that again as usual on November 11th. Hopefully this year we get to go ahead and follow through with it since we got snowed out or iced out or whatever last year. So. And then the last thing that we have is the Fall Carnival coming up on October 26th. The dinner starts at 5:30 and then games will start at 7.
Where's it going to be held at?
It will be at the Legion.
Well, they kicked me out of the loop on it, so you have to talk to Karen or
Yeah, he
Hannah.
talked to somebody already and set it up, I believe.
Yes, I did.
That's it then. Item 4 then is board discussion and possible action on a resolution establishing a new bank account as a result of closing previous account due to fraudulent activity.
Middle of September, we had to close our other bank account due to having fraudulent charges on it. So we've had to reestablish another account. So this is just to vote to approve to establish that account for the Freedom School District.
Since we've already discussed this before our vote, we go ahead and approve that.
Second.
Wilson.
Yes.
Kirkpatrick.
Yes.
Babcock.
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item 5 is board discussion and possible action on schedule of regular school board meetings for 2020.
If you go to your documents, the second page in it is a list of board meeting times and dates for 2020.
These,
They fall all on the second Monday like all of these ones do, except in April.
Yeah, I was wondering
and
about
August.
that April.
Do what?
I was wondering about the April, because we're getting
That
close
is-
to the end.
Well, April lands on the Monday directly after Easter,
Oh,
so I moved it to the first Monday.
I have no objection to that one, and August is the 3rd.
I moved it
Get
there.
ready so we can get plans for the rodeo and all that.
Yes, you had to move the week before rodeo.
I have
completely.
no objection with any of them.
So that is the only 2 changes in dates I've done.
So, I second.
Oh,
Wilson.
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Babcock,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item 6 is board discussion and possible action on school board member election resolution.
In December, we have school board seat number 5 coming open. So we have to have an election resolution. Enclosed in the documents, you will find the resolution to approve. It would be the,
First one?
there's 3 pages right after the board.
Checklist, okay. I remember reading through them. And whose seat is this,
It is Shane's.
Shane?
And it will be up where you gotta go to Woods County to post it, to put up for your seat December 2nd through December the 4th.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much nothing to that end. I've moved that we accept it.
Second.
Wilson,
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Babcock,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item 7, board discussion on possible bond issue.
In here in the documents, you will find the results from September,
Yeah, look through them.
in addition to registered voters for freedom. We need to discuss where we would like to go from this point forward.
If you want to run it again, it has to be called when?
It has to be called beginning of February,
Beginning of
by February the 4th.
February the 4th?
Yes, it'd have to be ran in April. Yes.
And we
At the very end of the documents, you will see the list of Oklahoma election dates. Very last page in documents.
So we're talking about February 11th,
I'm talking about April the 7th.
April the 7th.
You meant to call it or?
The election would actually be on April the 7th. We would call it by February the 4th.
Okay.
Did we decide to go ahead and just put one bond this time?
That is what we've got to discuss at this
Yeah, I say we just go with the one bond with
one proposition with everything on it. I mean, same as the 2 propositions, just combining it all to one.
I think so.
I do, there's nothing
I
on
don't.
that.
The
I mean,
only
it's
reason
not
we did
really
it the
me.
last time was because the attorney recommended that we do it like that, so.
Dividing it out since it was before the 6-month period.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I make a motion then.
Well, there's no motion, this is just discussion. This is just a discussion topic.
I don't know, I'm against it. I think there's more people that are opposed to the new ag barn, which I think it's a good idea, but,
Well, it's not.
That was taken off.
That was-
It wasn't on the last
oh, it
one.
wasn't?
It was not on the
Oh, I
last
thought
proposition.
No, we took that off.
No, the last confusion I was told was more having the 2 separate propositions on there. And then
On this, what upcoming, put them as 2 separate,
No.
or just run them all
we
together?
are going to run them all together as one proposition. This last bond was 2 separate propositions.
Yeah, I think we need to have more discussion on that as we go along.
And talking to
Get out and
people,
talk to a few people, yeah.
And then
That's
when
what-
we make
that's
our
one
app-
thing we all need to be out doing and prompt and say, hey, we're gonna do it again.
I agree with that. And then also people, whenever I was talking to some of the people, they recommended that when we list what we want to do, list why we want to do it. Because some
I thought
people,
there was a format that we had
There
to
is,
go
but
by
the
on
problem
the
is,
ballot.
not on the ballot, but on the advertisements.
we actually had nothing to do with it. That's where my deal. So are we gonna have anything to do with this one, or is it gonna be ran by Kerr 3 or whoever, Jordan Smith or whoever? I mean, they won't allow us to do anything, and that's where I have a big problem with that.
What do you mean they won't allow?
Well, we did list everything. We wanted everything listed on the pamphlets and everything that went out, but it didn't get done that way. And we talked about not running the bond as a separate, but they told us we had to, like Phil said, you know. And, you know, when we all know it costs more money, first of all, and second of all, it's hard to, those are things the school needs, not wants, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So at the end of the day, you're gonna have to put a list out there, and we had the list, exactly how it needed to be, then the pamphlet comes out and all the stuff, their articles and everything that they did, and it's not, it says that, like we're gonna pay for the existing fixtures and stuff like that. I never heard of that come out of any of our mouths.
Okay.
You know, and we're like, okay, what is that? Explain that to us. That's what people wanna know. What are the fixtures?
Okay.
What is the what does that mean? And it upset me, you know, to no end that they come here and told us on the other bond, this is what we do for a living, this is how it needs to be. And they come back in and tell us on the second, well, when are we gonna start doing it our way?
We can write it how we want it, and I will tell them that is how we want it in the pamphlet.
Okay.
And maybe sometime we need to, I keep reading on the deal about this word, political action committee. Maybe we need to get one of those set up and have them help rally the people to our side.
Well, that's kind of what our bond committee was supposed to help do, is
Right.
get those people
That's kind of
going.
what they were. Maybe we,
I think something that would help, and I don't know how we go about it, was have, like in December, January, have like a drive to put emphasis on people registering to vote. Well, you have till February the 7th.
Last day to register to vote is March 13th,
Okay. So maybe,
but we need to get out and,
Yeah, we talked about that. The main thing is we need honesty and money. If we're gonna use a committee, whatever, I mean, from what I gathered from the last, when we had the committee come in and do what they were supposed to do, then we get told one thing, we never got to meet with them, you know, to see what they said, and they were out talking to people in the community, and they said no on the ag barn, you know, everybody's against it. Well, then we get told by our previous soup that, oh, this is what it's gonna cost to do this, and we might as well try it, and that's what everybody thought, if we could do it for that little money at the time, let's do it, so we ran it, and it didn't go well, because we just told the committee, well, you don't know what you're talking about, we'll do it our way, and that ain't,
no, we need to go by what the committee has
I mean,
established for the most
they're,
part.
they're the ones out talking to the community.
That's why I'm saying, leave the ag barn off.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah. It was off this last one.
yes.
Yeah.
You know,
We're on the proposition,
But just stuff like that, I'm tired of relying on everybody else to do it, let's do it ourselves.
okay,
I mean, let's do the right thing and get it done.
the other question I had was, you know, we had the same proposition on both bonds. On the lease purchase,
yes.
and I had a couple of people ask me about that. Well, why is it on both bonds? And the reason why was, that was something that needed to be taken care of.
Yes.
So we wanted it, but I had more questions about that than anything.
Parker don't understand what it is completely and why.
Well, that was
Get rid of
the
it.
fixtures and the,
We need an explanation of what the lease
yeah.
purchase is, you know, to pay off what.
Okay,
And I talked to a few people that, you know, I explained to them that that's something that's coming out of the general fund right now. And it needs to be taken care of, you know, it needs to be paid off so we don't have, but I don't know how much we still owe on it or not, and it may be, how close are we to getting to have it paid off?
we still have until like 2026.
Okay, so that's, we need to make that clear, because that's something that we need to take care of.
Well, then also when I was talking to people, they didn't realize that the lease purchase was to buy new roofs. They didn't know what the lease purchase was doing.
Yeah,
That's what he was talking
And-
that's what I
and we
was,
did one for the air
Heating and air,
conditioning
yes.
too.
Yes. We did 2 lease purchases, one for heating and air and one
And you know
for...
for a fact it's 2026, it's one of the tours?
I'm pretty darn sure on the roof one. I don't know for sure on that. 2 of them, they both have different dates zeros on them.
Let's get her facts before we say anything else.
Okay.
Because it-
but
Well,
that
that's
was
kind of what we're doing this discussion with, what we kind of want to do and what.
No, I'm talking about
and
the
then we go
facts
back
on
and-
dates
Yeah,
before we put it out in the
well, I'm
public.
saying, But, okay, we want to do this, but we need to get all the facts
Yeah.
before we. That's why we're having this discussion.
Yeah, but anytime you say a date and it comes out in
Yes.
big public, people will take it for that right
Take it to
there, and
heart.
then all of a sudden it's, when you go and say, no, I was mistaken, is that, well, that ain't what you said, that, and that starts the argument.
That was the biggest question that I had on it, though, was the lease purchase on both bonds, and people didn't know what that was for. And I think we need to make it plain, what that is going for, to pay off what we're paying out of the general fund now on the roof and the air conditioning units.
Well, I don't know how to say that. I mean, that just was added, that could be, that was part of a bond that we've tried to get passed, that put roofs on this building, that's something that's been needed
Yeah.
fixed for 30 years.
Yeah.
And we had to get it done because waiting wasn't an option.
Yeah.
What he's saying is they had no idea what the lease to purchases are for, what it entails, anything about it. They know what we've done, why we had to do it.
Well, there's been a lot of people that still haven't realized that the roofs are fixed on here and that there was new heat and air put on it. I've been told that by more than one person. They didn't even know the roofs were fixed.
Maybe that's because of basketball game. You see that big repair job in the middle of our gym floor?
Any more discussion on this?
I'm good.
All right, then. Number 8 then is board discussion and possible action on appointing an athletic director.
This was tabled last month after having further discussion with legal counsel. We can have our coach be the athletic director. And since he is the one that has been scheduling our games and everything, I believe that he should be our athletic director.
Just for the record, then they gotta do it. It can't, nobody else taking the blame for nothing, we're not gonna pass the buck to anybody.
Yes.
If you remember why we did this, is because whenever you were the ag teacher and had conflicts with the coach constantly, so Miss Burgess is the one that said, it's not a good idea, we called council, they said you shouldn't have anyway, we're fine with it. But that's why we did it that
Okay.
way. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Because everything was revolving around sports, and you were getting upset because in the ag department, you guys were constantly having conflicts, remember that?
Yes.
Okay,
That's been a constant throughout the years.
yeah,
Even though he is athletic director, does not mean that this still don't have to go to the principal superintendent to approve it.
okay.
He's just scheduling. If we
As
don't
long as
like
somebody's
what,
held
yes,
accountable and knows what, you know.
yes. Because there's been a couple of games he's brought to us on different dates, so we said, no, that's not gonna work, and he reschedules. So,
Coach, the one that made
Good.
this schedule.
And he's confirmed the games.
As long as he knows he's got to coordinate with.
and he has been doing that.
Their motion then.
Make a motion to.
I'll second it.
Wilson,
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Babcock,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item number 10 is board discussion and possible action on an amended contract for David Turner to include the previously approved $1,220 pay raise for full-time certified staff.
Somehow in the last meeting, the contract for Mr. Turner got missed for the $1,220 raise. Is all that's
I
for.
vote that we approve it. Or move that we approve it, yeah.
Second.
Wilson,
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Babcock,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
You gonna do number 9?
Yeah.
Maybe 9. We discussed it, but we gotta approve it. To approve the contract.
I thought we
It's
did. I
easy,
just
go to
read
number
that.
9 and look at it.
No, number 8, we discussed who we was gonna put in there. Number 9, we gotta approve the
Oh,
actual
okay, I'm
contract with
sorry,
the
I
amount.
skipped it, I'm sorry, okay. Board discussion and possible action on a contract for the athletic director.
The extra duty contract for athletic director is $1,500 for Mr. Austin Bean.
I'd make a motion to approve it.
I'll second it.
Wilson,
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Babcock,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Okay, item number 11 then. Board discussion and possible action to designate Miss Emmel, Miss Sheila, and Mr. Weber as residency committee for certified resident teacher Austin Bean.
With the Mr. Bean being the first year teacher, we've got to have a residency committee for him. And that would be who we would make the committee to be consisted of to help him through his first year.
Is that what it's for, to, if he has questions or something?
Yes.
Not so good.
Second.
Wilson,
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Babcock,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item 12 is board discussion and possible action to designate Ms. Smith, Ms. Sheila, and Mr. Weber as residency committee for certified resident teacher David Turner.
And that's the ag teacher.
That is our new ag teacher, and it's the same thing, being his first year teaching. Give him a committee of people if he needs to come talk, if he can't, as, at least us three to come talk to about things.
Okay, I'll make the motion. So,
Wilson,
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Babcock,
yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item 13 then is new business.
I have none.
Item 14 then is the board to sign any documents as needed.
Just need you to sign those contracts.
No, just
But we don't.
Russell.
Oh, sorry. Sign the minutes.
Put that on my refrigerator.
Minutes. Today is the 14th.
Get a chance before you guys leave, you can go over and look at our STEM lab that we've started
Yes, sir.
over in that little room over there with the door open.
That is
Pretty cool.
The what?
document.
STEM lab.
Do that.
Science, technology, engineering, mathematics.
Oh,
It
the
had
robotics
elementary kids,
deal.
no, it's not the robotics, it's totally different. It's Mrs.
Not just as you.
That one that you
Province
just got your card.
wrote a grant,
So we need two forms.
and for the library, and part of it was that
Alright.
STEM room.
Okay.
We had a bunch of the elementary kids come in.
That
and
you
work
just
on it.
don't have to go to the bank and sign it.
Okay, neat. We have some very industrious teachers.
Yes.
Board done that,
For your skilled leadership and tutelage.
I don't know about that.
Everybody got
I'm
it?
not
All the
crazy
ones
about
you
writing
signed.
grants and doing stuff, so
Yeah.
I appreciate it, thank you.
Item 15 then is to adjourn. I'll make the motion, we adjourn at 7:24.
Second.